Hey there, welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing how to choose the right real estate brokerage. Before I dive into the 10 questions, I want to start out with a simple fact of so many agents, myself included, make the mistake that they just join the first brokerage they come across, or they know an agent who works at a brokerage and they join because of that. And they don't really interview the brokers and do thorough research to determine what's going to be the best place to land. And that's a big mistake. If you are in the process of getting your real estate license or even thinking about getting your real estate license, start now and make a list of brokerages that you are interested in and you want to interview those brokers. Okay, 10 questions you should ask when you're interviewing different brokerages. The first one is ask the broker who you're meeting with or Zooming with, how long they have been with that brokerage. The reason for that question is you want to know that you are talking to someone who actually understands the brokerage, is immersed within it, knows the culture, knows about the trainings, the onboarding, the commissions. You want someone that is full of knowledge and able to answer all the upcoming questions that we're going to be talking about. Second question is asking that broker how long they've been licensed. You again want to know that the person that you could potentially be going to ask questions and working under has the knowledge and experience to give you advice and guide you on whatever questions you have that come up. If they've only been licensed for a few years and they're overseeing an entire office, that would probably concern me a little bit, because do they really have the hands-on experience to handle the different situations that inevitably come up when you're selling real estate? Maybe, maybe not. I do think that it plays into your decision-making process of how long that broker has actually been a licensed broker. Number 3 is asking that broker what their production stats were when they were actually selling real estate. And this is actually a 2-part question, because I also would follow that up with asking if they are a competing or a non-competing broker. The production question is pretty transparent. It's a question that is going to then lead you to know whether or not they have a lot of experience under their belt and have actually sold a lot of real estate, because the more real estate you sell, the more problems you've come across and subsequently know how to resolve. So that experience is something that you can tap into as a new agent and know that they're going to be able to help you solve your problems. The competing versus non-competing question is asking whether or not they are still selling real estate, which would be a competing broker, or if they are strictly focused on operations and supporting agents, which is non-competing. I don't necessarily think that this one is a make or break situation, but I do think it's important, because if you are interviewing a broker and they say, well, I'm a competing broker, I still run a team and I'm still closing 50, 100 houses a year, that might concern me a little bit and give me pause on whether or not I want to join that brokerage. Because if they have sales going on, then you all could be talking to the same customer trying to convert them into a client, and you are literally competing against your broker. But more so, what's likely to happen is if the broker is fully immersed in sales and or running a team, that takes a lot of time on their day-to-day schedule. And it can oftentimes mean that they then are not available to answer your calls, your texts, your emails in a timely manner. And that then turns into a lack of support for you. Number 4 is, how many agents does this office have and how many brokers does this office have? And the point of this question is determining how many agents is a broker or multiple brokers responsible for. And that's important because you don't want to be paired with a brokerage who the office has, say, 800 agents and there's one broker, because that one person cannot support all of those agents in a timely manner. And again, that could impact how much hands-on support you are able to receive. Number 5 is asking them about onboarding, specifically whether or not they have an onboarding process. Is it an easy to follow checklist, or is it just kind of fly by the seat of your pants? Do they help you with getting your business cards, with getting your website set up, with getting your signs designed? All of that is important because onboarding is really, it's a tedious task and you want to get through it as quickly as you possibly can. So if a brokerage has an actual system and processes set up to get you under their umbrella as quickly as possible and get all of your marketing materials set up, that's probably going to be better than, say, a broker who says, we fill out your salesperson application, we'll get that submitted, we'll get your license back. It really should be a streamlined process, and you should inquire more to determine what each brokerage offers as far as your onboarding goes. Number 6 is training, and this is a huge one for new agents. Asking about the training that's provided through the brokerage, whether or not that training is included in any fees that you're paying, or if it's an additional fee to attend a training, is super important. Another question to ask about training is this training just recorded and regurgitated? Is it old and outdated? Are these actual live trainings? Are there in-person trainings? Is it different every single week? Or is it the same ones every single month? All of these are questions that you should ask when you are discussing training, especially as a new agent. Training and support are the top 2 things that as a new agent you need to focus on, because they are going to be keys to you either being successful or unfortunately being one of the statistics in the real estate business and dropping out. Number 7 is, do you have a mentor program? Again, this goes back to support and training. When you're a brand new agent, there's so much to learn, and it really can just feel downright overwhelming. Every time you turn around, it's something new, something different. And if you have a mentor through your brokerage, and if they have a mentor program, yes, you're probably going to have to pay some type of your commission as a split in order to learn from them, but that's a very small price to pay if you have an assigned mentor who you know that you can contact 7 days a week when you have questions, whether it's related to a client that you're working with, some marketing that you're working on creating, a social media post, different technologies that you're going to need to learn. And having that go-to person who you know is there to help and support you can really be a game changer in your business and help you lay a solid foundation that you can then grow from. If they tell you they don't have a mentor program, then my next question would be, what support systems are in place for brand new agents? And then you can go from there to see if it's something that you feel like will benefit you. Number 8 is vendors. And this may also be something that's called an affiliated business arrangement. Whether it's vendors or that, it's basically companies that your brokerage has partnered with, and they have a mutually beneficial relationship, so that you know, if say a client says, hey, do you have any lenders you work with, and you just got your license 3 days ago, you know that you essentially have a little black book that you can go to and recommend someone, knowing that your brokerage stands behind them and values that relationship, so you can feel good about referring them to your client. And this is definitely not limited to loan officers or a mortgage broker. It could be a home warranty company, a title company, a handyman, a contractor. Real estate is a team sport, and the longer you're in the business, the more quality contacts you will have for vendors, and a client will reach out and you definitely already know someone. But when you're first getting started in real estate and you don't have those relationships formed yet, or those contacts that you can easily tap into for a client, it's important to go with a brokerage who does, because then you've got a base point to start from, and you know that you can fall back on your brokerage contacts until you've established relationships on your own. Number 9 is leads. And this may or may not be an important question for you. Some new agents, when they're looking to join a brokerage, they want to go somewhere that provides them with leads. And if that's what you're looking for, this is definitely a question that you want to ask. And then you want to find out, where are these leads coming from? What are the splits involved with them? Do they only get sent to you? Are they exclusive? Are they dispersed throughout the brokerage? There's a whole process with leads. So it's a great question to ask if you're looking to work with a brokerage who provides leads, and find out actually like what type of quality they are. And if you're not looking to join a brokerage that provides leads, if it's not a deal breaker for you, I still think that this is a good question, because it also ties into, if someone calls the office, let's say, and they don't have an agent, they just know the brokerage name, so they called the local office, then how is that handled? Who does that lead go to? Number 10 is commission and fees. And I purposely saved this one for the last question because it is important, knowing how much you're going to get paid and what fees you're responsible for, whether it's a one-time, an annual, monthly, all of that is important. But before I dive into that, if you are a new agent, do not get hung up on commissions and fees. There is a cost of learning and gaining experience, and that is far more important than dwelling on a commission split or fees. Because at the end of the day, if you don't close anything, 100% of nothing is nothing. I cannot drive this point home enough. I see so many agents making a misstep on getting hung up on commission splits when none of that matters unless you're closing deals. And as a new agent, you're not going to be closing any deals unless you find a brokerage and go with a brokerage who can provide you the support, the training, the expertise to get yourself up and running and actually start working with clients and then leading them through the buying or selling process to the point that you get to a closing. Commission and fees, they're important to know. You want to know what your split is. You want to know your monthly fees, because all of that factors into your budget and your monthly expenses. Completely understand that. But just don't make it a sticking point, especially when you're a brand new agent. If you find a brokerage that you love the support that they have and you get one-on-one access to your broker or mentor or coach, and that in turn requires you to pay a little bit higher split, well, that sounds like a good deal to me, because if you're connecting with those people and if they're there to support you, you absolutely will find so much more success and win much faster than you will if you've got a nice shiny 100% split and you have no support, no deals, and no clients. If you have any questions about how to join the right brokerage, please don't hesitate to drop a comment below, or you can reach out to me privately. There's no one size fits all for real estate brokerages. And if somebody tells you otherwise, I would really question their motives, because we're all different. We all interact differently. We all connect differently. We all thrive in different atmospheres. And it really just depends on what you are looking for. So before you even start interviewing different brokers, make sure you have a solid idea of what you want to come out of your brokerage, so that you can then narrow it down and determine where the best place for you is going to be. I hope you found today's video helpful. If you did, please consider hitting the like or subscribe button.